So welcome, and this is going to be another practice to really look at moving into autumn. It has been such a big transformation of weather and just the general feel of the weather, the atmosphere really in the last week or so. So this is a practice really to nourish and nurture ourselves as our bodies just shift and make that adjustment to the slightly cooler months. The air does become so much drier in autumn, and you can kind of see that when the leaves start to turn and when they start to shed. And so too, that kind of impacts on our bodies in the sense that we may need to give a little bit extra support to the lungs. The large intestine is another organ associated with autumn, which is, I suppose, that whole sense of being able to let go. I do think once one moves away from the abundance, as it were, of summer, that real outward flow of sunshine and doing things in those sunny, warm days, there comes a certain reflectiveness within the mind and the body. And within that, I mean, traditionally, autumn's always seemed to be kind of a season where it's really nice to just spend a bit of time to reflect and process any emotion that hasn't been processed through the year, to let go of anything that you may feel is just kind of keeping you in a particular cycle of reactivity, cycle of thought or feeling. So that's where we're going this morning. So I've just told you to just go and get a blanket. So if you are using a blanket or a throw or something like that, just fold it up into a square. And then just sitting on that or on a chair, just making sure you're comfortable, hands resting on the lap. And as your eyes shut, feel your contact with the earth. Becoming aware of your roots with the earth. And as you breathe out, feel the body's weight transferring down to the earth. So the body, all of the body, is resting on its surface. And as you let go of the body's weight, just letting go of any sense of needing to do, needing to arrive anywhere else apart from where you are right now. And breathing all the way down to your belly, we'll take 5 breaths. The out breath, feeling this sense of connecting, earth connection. And then keep your gaze soft as your eyes open again. And with eyes open again, we're just bringing the knees up and we're coming into child now. So use your blanket here so you feel very comfortable in your child. And so knees on the blanket, easing back to your heels and your arms stretching out in front of you and your forehead coming down to the mat. And there, we'll take another 5 breaths or so. And again, letting go of the body's weight in child. So there isn't any sense of you having to do anything here. You can just feel the body as it is.
And we'll take another 5 rounds. And then, keeping your knees on the blanket, so you've just got some cushioning beneath you, bring your hands in and you're arriving onto all fours. And then, when you're on all fours, then just drawing up your belly, lengthening out through your neck, draw your shoulders back, and then with your out breath, curving up towards the ceiling. And with your in breath, lengthening out through the spine. Keep your shoulders very soft here. So this movement is really originating along the spine. And you're using your feet, your knees, your hands, just to support that movement of the spine. So moving in and out of cat and cow for a few breaths. And we'll do another 5 rounds. Now, though you're taking a deep breath, letting the body find its own rhythm to your breath. So don't feel there has to be any strain in that rhythm. Really finding a sense of ease within your breath. And from those 5 rounds of breath, we're threading the needle now. So left hand coming underneath right. You're down onto your left temple and lifting up onto the fingertips of your right hand and drawing that right elbow back so you're opening out into your spine, into a twist here. And once you arrive, just letting your body then find that sense of stillness again. Don't feel you've got to make any adjustments to wherever your body is. Right hand coming down, lifting back up onto all fours, and then you'll take your right hand underneath the left onto your right temple for a few breaths there. And again, you're coming up onto the left fingertips and drawing that left elbow back to open up into the chest. Once you've done that, then just letting the body arrive. Just feeling its weight transferring downwards again. Left hand down, right hand joining, and then right knee drawing up and into your core and just looking down at your right knee. Just pause there for a moment, the right foot lifted, and you're circling your right knee around and behind you. Now the movement's on the knee here rather than what the leg's doing. So keeping it quite a small and localized movement with that knee. And we'll do one more. back onto all fours. And then just adjusting there so you feel stable again, draw up into your belly. And then the left knee can come in. So just a few breaths with the knee lifted, the foot lifted, drawing up and into your core. And then we'll circle that left knee around and coming back in. We'll do one more. Both knees coming down and then drawing your sit bones back towards your heels, your arms stretching forward again. And we're taking another 5 breaths in child, so letting go of the body's weight as you arrive. And then from those breaths, coming back onto all fours, walk your hands in now. So you're coming up onto your knees. And you want to make sure your blanket again is underneath your knees. And then an in-breath, your arms are going to float up. And sitting back towards your heels with your arms stretched up above you. And then your arms are going to come forward and into child. Breathing out as you arrive. With your in-breath, start to lift up onto your knees. And your arms will circle up above you. And then feeling that extension from your waist, either side of the body, up into your fingertips. You'll start to sit back onto your heels, your arms still lifting, but you'll start to fold forward. So your hands will come down to the floor and your forehead will follow. And you're back into child. Another in-breath, lifting up again onto the knees, a big circle through the arms. We're just pausing there with fingertips stretched up above you so you feel that connection along the sides of the body. And then it helps to draw into your core here. So you start to lower back towards your knees, your arms reaching forward, keeping that line from the waist up to your fingertips. So you come onto the heels, and your hands come down and the forehead too, back into child. And one more round. Another in-breath, lifting up. Again, drawing into your core, so it will really help to support you there. As you start to lower down, arms stretching out in front of you. Hands come down and the forehead comes down. And you're having another 5 breaths in child. Each time we arrive back into child, really letting go of the body's weight so you can truly rest. Not just the body resting, but the mind not having to travel elsewhere, apart from where you've arrived. And you'll lift up onto your knees again. Your hands can just stay by the sides of the body. You may just want to put them down now as you bring your right foot out to the side, so it's more or less in alignment with the left knee. You're lifting up again, right hand on the right leg, an in-breath, left arm lifting up,
Now again, finding that connection from the left hip upwards into that left set of fingertips. And then just taking the left arm over, just as far as you need you to feel that stretch along the outer edge of the body. Your right hand will slide down the right leg a little bit. Left hand's coming down again. And left hand coming down, right hand joining, bringing your right knee back in and over to the other side. So the left foot, the big toes are more or less in alignment with the right knee. You're lifting up onto the knees, your right hand lifting up. Again, just stretching up from that right hip all the way up into the fingertips of the right hand. And then right arm just floating over as far as it needs to go to feel the stretch in the outer edge, the right side of the body. Your left hand will slide down the left leg. Right hand coming down, both hands now down to the mat, left foot coming in, and we're now tucking the toes under, sitting back on the heels a little bit. You can use your hands here just in front of you if you prefer. You may want to bring them up to the knees though, as well. And just 5 breaths here, just feeling the sensation, seeing if you can just sit with that sensation without adjusting it. Coming to the final breath. Your hands coming forward, your toes tucking under now, taking them a little distance apart, and you're lifting up and into down dog. Now stepping your feet back and taking your feet quite wide apart from one another. We're going to take another 3 breaths or so in down dog. And then coming up onto the tops of the balls of the feet, so your heels are lifted high. Keep your hips as high as you can, but you're going to tiptoe up towards your hands. Foot by foot. And then onto your fingertips and offering your spine, whatever version you'd like to use. And we're coming now into a forward fold, so your hands will slide down the legs. The spine is folding inwards. You can move your skull a little bit from side to side here. Allowing your shoulders to soften. And then starting to ease upwards towards standing, and we roll the spine up, one vertebrae at a time, to come all the way up and into standing. And arriving in standing, just making sure you've got your blanket near the top of, well, kind of a little way down the mat really, and you're just standing the other side of the blanket. Your eyes shutting, and with your eyes shut, feeling your feet connecting to the earth. Feeling the transfer of weight downwards. And just letting go again of any sense of needing to be anywhere other than where you are right now, standing on the mat. Whatever comes next. Just feeling now connection to the earth in this moment, in this breath.
And your gaze soft, your eyes open again. And on an in-breath, your palms will float up above the head. And you'll take your palms down the centre line and into a forward fold. Do take your time to arrive here. And almost luxuriate here in the movement, that sense of easing the spine down. You're going to step back into Anjaneyasana here. So your right knee will step back. Long step back into a runner's lunge. And then the knee will drop down to your blanket. And with the knee on the blanket, the hands are going to come up to the front knee. And drawing the front knee forward, so you're really easing the front knee away from the pelvis, and then your arms will float up. Breathing in, and breathing out, arriving into down dog. The left foot will step up and over into down dog. And then dropping down onto your blanket onto all fours. And breathing out, you'll take your pelvis back towards your heels, so you're riding into child. And from there, looking forward towards your hands, you're going to slide the front of the body forward, arriving into cobra. In breath, lifting into cobra. Out breath, arriving. Looking over towards your right shoulder, to the centre line, over to your left. Back to the centre line, toes tucking under, and you're easing up and into down dog. Coming back into Anjaneyasana now on the right hand side. To do so, you can just step the right foot through, or you can just step upwards into standing and then adjust feet. You can swing the right leg up and above the head, up above you, behind you. And then one way or another, swinging the foot through, or stepping it. Then we're coming down, the right foot's coming through between hands, and you're back into the Anjaneyasana on the right hand side. Now drawing the front knee forward, hands coming up to the knee first to enable that. And then the arms floating up. Breathing in. And breathing out. You're going to come into a forward fold, a standing forward fold. So you'll lift up your back leg, and then you're going to step it forward to meet the right. And there you're folding. Take a few breaths here, just to really again arrive into that still point. Putting that downward pull of gravity along the spine. And then rising up from the feet, the palms together. The in-breath, the palms will lift above the crown. And with your out-breath, you're bringing the palms back and into the heart. We'll take 3 breaths here. And then with another in-breath, your palms will float up. You're taking your palms down the centre line, breathing out. And you're arriving into another forward fold. Take your time again, just maybe adjust your neck, just allow the head to move a little bit from one side to the other. Just softening any tightness through the neck. This time it's a big step back with your left foot. You're starting in the runner's lunge to start with. And from there, the left knee can drop down. Your hands will come up to the right knee. Draw the right knee away from you. And then an in-breath. The palms floating up. And with your out-breath, you're arriving back and into down dog. Just adjusting your feet in down dog. And then with an in-breath, you'll lie down onto all fours. With your out-breath, you're riding back into child. And looking forward towards the hands, and then sliding forward into Cobra. Breathing in, lifting into Cobra. Breathing out, looking towards your left shoulder. Coming back to the center line, over to your right shoulder. Back to the center line, toes tucking under, and you're riding back and into down dog. Again, we're going to bring the left foot through between the hands now. So finding your way there, either stepping, standing up to get there, or swinging the left foot through. And then the right foot, right knee dropping down onto the mat. Then the hands will lift up to the knee. You'll draw the left knee forward. And with an in-breath, your arms can float up. With your out-breath, the hands coming all the way down again. And then right knee lifting up. And we'll step the right knee forward. So you're back into a forward fold. Just give yourself a couple of breaths here so you really feel anchored through your feet. And then slowly your palms will lift up. And with your out breath, palms coming back and to the center line. So standing on your blanket now, if you are using one. And with that blanket there, we're then coming into chair pose, bending the knees, the arms circling up. And then your palms are going to come down to shoulder height in front of you. So they're pointing away from you, your fingertips. Drop down a little bit deeper into your chair. With an in-breath, your right arm will circle up and behind you, taking you into a twist over to the right-hand side. Your thumbs are facing up. An out-breath. The right hand will come up and over, back towards the left. And then with an in-breath, left arm circling up and over, into twist over to the left. The out-breath, back again. And then another in-breath and back into chair, arms floating up above the head. And with your out-breath, your legs will start to straighten a little bit. You still keep a bit of bend through the knees as you come back and into a forward fold. Hands arriving down to the mat. And you're stepping the feet back again. You're riding into down dog. So lifting your heels high in your down dog for a moment. And then start to root your heels downwards towards the mat. Draw your sit bones up and back. Lift up into your sit bones and your left hand coming over to your right leg. Then you're sliding it down the right leg towards the right ankle. When you've finished there, left hand coming back, you're back into down dog. Lift your heels again, up off the mat. Then breathing out, you're rooting them back down towards the floor. And then right hand over to the left leg, and you're sliding the right hand down towards the left ankle. Right hand coming back to the mat, both knees coming down, and we're taking 5 rounds of breath into cat and cow here. So moving whatever pace you want to, but however you're moving, just feeling your body weight, feeling anchored through your hands, through your feet. And that gives a little bit of space, freedom for the spine to move in. And then left hand coming underneath the right arm, down onto the left temple, and your right arm's lifting skywards. And then we drape the right arm over the back of the body. You can draw your elbow point, the right elbow point, up and away again, just to intensify that twist a little bit. Right hand coming down, left hand joining, and over to the other side again. So your right hand is coming underneath the left, down onto the right temple, and the left arm lifting skywards. And the last couple of breaths, left hand coming over the back of the spine, left arm drawing up and back. And then left hand joining the right hand, and you're back onto all fours. So we're taking a figure of 8 now from one side over to the other. And when you've done your figure of 8 in one direction, then switching directions. And then coming back into child again, coming back down to the heels, your arms stretching out. And we're taking 5 resting breaths again. Again, letting go of the body's weight, so you arrive in stillness. You really can just enjoy this sense of just arriving in the body, rather than needing to move on. Coming up onto all fours, and then sitting on your blanket, and your knees coming, legs coming apart from one another. Do you know you can put a bit of bend into your knees here, and you can either have the toes flexing up, or if it feels more comfortable, you can just have the toes relaxing forwards a little bit. So turning now towards your right leg, and then sliding down the left hand towards the right foot. Right hand just resting on the leg. And turning the gaze over to the right hand side. Left hand sliding up the right leg. Right hand sliding down the left leg. Left hand just at the top of the thigh. And you're turning your gaze over to the left. Right hand sliding up. Both hands sliding down the center line in front of you. And when you get to a certain distance where you can start to feel your edges coming up onto your fingertips like you're playing the piano, breathing in, looking forward. See if there's any give in your shoulders there. And breathing out, just folding down, letting the head become heavy. Feeling the body's weight again, just transferring down towards the mat. Feel that pull of gravity towards the earth. Looking forwards again, and your hands walking back in, back up towards the body. So now, left hand's reaching towards the right foot or the right leg, and your right hand's lifting up and behind you, taking you over to twist. And then we're just going to windmill over to the other side. So you're rotating on the spine, right hand to left foot, windmilling over to the other side. Back over. Keep letting go of the body's weight down through your sit bones. You just go from one side to the other. You're going nice and steadily, so there's not that sense of having to race through to get from one side to the other. Just taking your time with the transition. And then both arms are now going to open out behind you. Lovely. So you're stretching out both arms, really stretching out and into your chest here. And then we'll drop the arms down to the floor and behind you. And then you're going to catch hold of each of your elbow points opposite hands. You then squeeze your shoulder blades together. You've made a little square behind your back, and you're lifting up into your spine, into the ground. Breathe in and breathing out, folding forward. Let the head become heavy, arms still behind the back, and then you can open out your arms in front of you, just letting them come to rest. And we'll take 5 breaths here. Walking your hands back up and in, and your feet coming together now. And toes flexing up. Again, if you feel more relaxed and just pointing forward, that's all good. In breath, lifting up the arms. And see if you can find that sense of stretching up from the hips now into the fingertips. The extension of the arms from the trunk of the body. And then you're folding forward from the waist. And the arms following in alignment with the spine. Your hands will come to rest somewhere on the legs or the feet. And your head can become heavy. And we'll take 5 rounds of breath in a forward fold in. Again, letting go of the body's weight. So then you can just feel the body as it is. Without feeling you need to adjust, make it other than what you're feeling. In breath, coming up to sitting again. And then we're coming into lying down on the spine. So make sure your blanket's underneath the spine here. And lying down, spine on the blanket, knees together, arms out to either side, and you're dropping your knees over to the right hand side. Your gaze will turn to the left arm. Knees back up and over to the other side. Knees to the left, gaze to the right. Knees back up again. Knees into the chest here, hands over the tops of the knees. In breath, the knees coming away from you. The out breath, your knees into the chest. We'll take another few rounds. In breath, knees away, out breath into the chest. And then, when you're ready to, stretching out your legs and you're coming into lying down for Shavasana. And arriving in lying down, just make any last minute adjustments you need to. And breathing out, feeling the weight of the body settle on the mat. And feeling the pull of gravity connecting you to the earth. And the body resting on the earth. Letting go of the body's weight. Needing to carry it. Knowing it's held. Becoming aware of sounds around you. And the touch of body on the earth. Allowing your breath to gently deepen.
your fingers, your toes, your head to move from side to side. And then, when you're ready to, bending knees and rolling over onto the right hand side for a few lasting breaths. And from here, rolling on up and into sitting. And arriving in sitting, your eyes shut. Going to sitting on your blanket, hands in the lap. And breathing out, feeling a sense of expansiveness in the contact of your sit bones with the mat. As if you're spreading out roots into the earth beneath you. Roots that spread in all directions. And feel that pull of gravity connecting you to the earth. Letting yourself rest in that pull of gravity to earth. And then feeling your new breath enter into the body. And as it enters, drawing up from the base of the spine, just very light lifting up. As if you're holding the body between earth and the sky. And feeling your breath flowing between the two. And hands coming up to the heart. And there, at the heart, bowing forwards, in whatever way you wish, greeting yourself and each other. And coming up when you're ready, letting go of the practice. Thank you.